Black Friday is fast approaching. Can you tell us, please, about the popularity of Black Friday in the UAE and in the region in general?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you very much for your time, Nabila. When it comes to Black Friday, it's forecasted to be a $6 billion event in MENA this year. It's the most popular period of the year when it comes to shopping, both when it comes to omni-channel retailers and when it comes to the pure players within the industry, so in pure play e-commerce. When it comes to UAE and when it comes to Saudi, the average per capita spend is expected to reach around $450, the source here being Arabi ads. And this is significantly higher than the global average because the global average per capita is $300. So it's really the most important period of the year for retailers, whether in omnichannel or in pure play. And it's our mission to support them as TikTok during this time of year to make sure they deliver on their business objectives.
Can you elaborate further on TikTok's plans for Black Friday in the region?
Absolutely. When it comes to TikTok and Black Friday, we started our work around 5 months ago because we really needed to plan it very well. And we started collaborating with all of our partners in both omnichannel and in pure play retail and e-commerce to understand what their business objectives are and help them tailor make plans towards that. And most of these plans are centered around the theme of community commerce. And community commerce is really what we are all about as a platform when it comes to retail and e-com. You can see the sign behind me that says hashtag TikTok made me buy it. This is a phenomenon that has crossed 6.2 billion views globally. And it's a way of how users and consumers discover products on our platform. And the secret is very simple. The secret is the community. So to explain this and to elaborate on it, we have to take a bit of a step back in terms of what TikTok really is. So TikTok today, and this might surprise some people, TikTok is actually not a social media platform. It really isn't. It's a short video platform. Some people make the association between us and social media, that's fine. But you don't go on TikTok to check out what your friends are doing. And when you're on TikTok, what you see on your For You page is not dictated by your social network. It's basically a hyper-personalized feed that is based on what you as Nabila are likely to enjoy watching. And there are so many different interests out there. Like interests are very nuanced. Interests are not the way we used to categorize them as in fashion, beauty, sports. The human experience is far more nuanced than that, right? So when we talk about communities, these are very nuanced communities, and the interests are very detailed, and there are sub-communities as well there. So given that you are watching videos on your For You page on TikTok that you are interested in, and that's how our algorithm works, and this is what we show you as a platform, you end up interacting and engaging with these videos that you are interested in with other people who share these same interests. And this is what we mean by community. This is how communities are formed on TikTok. So when the communities start posting about products that they are passionate about, their credibility is very high because what they're posting about, they're doing it in a very authentic way. And the people interacting with these videos believe them, right? So this is why people say TikTok made me buy it, because they refer to things that they discovered via other creators on TikTok. And on TikTok, we say creators, we don't say influencers, because anyone can be a content creator, regardless of how many followers she or he has. So this is what community commerce is all about. And an example of this to make it a little more concrete is, if you can think of, for example, the fetta pasta phenomenon, this is something that started on TikTok. It started as a video recipe. The community started jumping on it. The community being the cooking community or the food community, people who are passionate about either eating or cooking. And it translated into feta running off the shelf and going out of stock in a country like Finland, among other places. And that's why TikTok made me buy feta pasta. Now, obviously, it goes far beyond that. The examples include Zara jeans, Gap hoodies, American Eagle leggings, Good Apple foundation from KVD Beauty, Ocean Spray cranberry juice, and the list goes on and on and on. And it's all under the theme of TikTok made me buy it, which is how we describe the phenomenon of community commerce, which really is the digitization of word of mouth, basically.
Okay. And speaking of buying things, how have consumer habits changed? We all know how they changed during during coronavirus and the rise in e-commerce. But now that coronavirus is hopefully behind us, at least in the region, how have you seen consumer habits shifting or maybe staying the same as they were during COVID? Can you comment on
Sure.
that?
Yeah, of course. So basically, if you think before the pandemic, and you take a season like Black Friday, which we're discussing today, shoppers were always value hunters, right? Specifically in an online environment. So now we see a bit of a different dynamic there. Now they're more seasoned shoppers, and they're really seeking experiences and added value services. So this means that consumers will be buying more frequently, which is very critical, specifically for a market like the United Arab Emirates, because 50% of the growth, comes from frequency of purchase and not just penetration. And the source of the data I'm mentioning here is Redseer, one of our partners when it comes to data and research. And this is very interesting because the implications of that on marketeers opens up a world of possibilities in terms of creativity. Because now what you do during Black Friday is not just about the depth of your discount. It's not just about, are you offering 50% off or 60 or 70% off? It's more about how you are speaking to your users and to consumers, and how are you creating more of an experience for shoppers, specifically within the online environment. And just one last thing I would add here is when it comes to UAE's growth in retail specifically, this will be driven by a 108% jump in online spend by the year 2023. So the changes that we saw in online behavior during the pandemic are really forecasted to stick and even grow further.
You touched upon this question a bit, but how can you describe the UAE shoppers? What are the new trends that we might see coming out of Black Friday in terms of the UAE?
So basically, when it comes to UAE, the overall growth when it comes to shopping and when it comes to online commerce is really forecasted to continue accelerating exponentially and not just in a linear way. When you talk about 108% jump by the year 2023, like this is really formidable kind of growth. And the shopper in the UAE today is becoming much more experienced. So they're looking after what value added services they can get from every platform versus only discounts and, are they going to say 5% or 10%? And this really has implications on how the broader ecosystem within the UAE develops these trends. And we believe we are part of this ecosystem overall as TikTok, because the role we play when it comes to commerce is our role comes in to drive further the role of the community within that. We drive the authenticity and we drive the genuine communication and the credibility on TikTok to help the UAE users discover products that can potentially deliver on their ambitions and deliver what they're looking for. Overall, this is the way we see our contribution within the ecosystem in the UAE, and we aim to take it a notch further, specifically during Black Friday this month. It's already started, by the way. It started earlier this month. It's really mad November versus just one day, which is Black Friday.
Is it increasingly starting earlier in the region? Have you noticed? Or did it start around the same time last year?
It really is. I think every year it's starting earlier and earlier, and it's expanding into beyond just a one-day event. The phenomenon started as White Friday at the time by Souk. Obviously, it became a multicolored event in that there is yellow, there's white, there's black, there's all kinds of Fridays. And really it's really the benefit of the consumer at the end of the day, because the value that consumers are getting, whether in the UAE or the Arab Emirate or in Saudi Arabia or in MENA in general, they're getting more value and they're getting more services. And it helps improve the overall ecosystem even beyond Black Friday. Because what happens when partners work with us, for example, as TikTok as a platform during this very busy period, what they're doing is they're also building audiences on the platform. So after Black Friday, after all the noise is over and December starts, these audiences stay there. So our partners are able to retarget these audiences and deliver to them better experiences and drive more loyalty with them. So it not only starts early, but it kind of also goes beyond the 26th of November and beyond that week of, the last week of November, essentially, going into the holiday season and going into retargeting users overall.
Okay. Thank you, Arif. I don't have any more questions. Is there anything you'd like to add that I didn't touch base upon?
No, I think we touched base on everything. When it comes to TikTok overall, like we are a platform to inspire creativity and bring joy. We do that in a myriad of ways. When it comes to shopping season specifically and moments like Black Friday, our aim is to make your shopping experience more joyful. And this is actually supported by data. So we've recently run a study with a partner, Behave, that showed how the emotions of shoppers are when they're shopping off TikTok versus on TikTok. So usually joy is quite high when you're shopping because everyone's excited and most people love shopping, but there's also a bit of fear in the equation because there's fear of missing out. There's fear of making the wrong purchase or the wrong transaction. What we see when people are shopping on TikTok is that fear almost disappears, goes completely down, and joy is even further elevated. We have these numbers. We're happy to share them in a separate forum as well. It's by Behave, our research partner on that specific study. And our aim is to continue doing that, to continue driving joy and continue to making your experience on the platform a little more joyful.
That sounds like a wonderful aim. Thank you for your time, Arif. I don't have. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nabila. Thank you for your time.